Good evening. Chief Meteorologist Zach Paul back with you here tonight. New tornado warning now in effect for parts of Cooper County. This tornado warning in effect until 8:30 here tonight, located around the city of Otterville right now. We are finding a lot of little teeny tiny over the last couple of minutes. There's been a few little circulations that have popped up, and this one fairly tight circulation, as you can see, just north of Otterville. This storm once again moving just like the previous one to the east at about 30 to 35 miles per hour. This one right now is radar indicated, and the radar indicating that there is a little bit of a tight circulation there. Again, this in effect till 8:30, so about 20 minutes from now, this tornado warning will be allowed to expire if that circulation continues to weaken. Again, if you're north of Otterville, again, this is another rural part of mid-Missouri, out through Cooper County here. You can see where Bunsen is located. You can see where Highway 5 is, again, just to the northwest of Tipton. Tipton here just at the bottom, sort of bottom right-hand corner of your screen. You can see where Syracuse is, Highway 50 all along that. So right now this is north of Highway 50. But this is right along a highway here, it looks like, that's going to drop out of just south of Pilot Grove here on 135 down A towards Otterville. You can really see where the center of circulation is on that particular storm. So again, you got there's New Lebanon. That's the area where this circulation is at, right in between here. Again, that's just north of Otterville. And if you're out here in this part of Cooper County, you're going to want to head to your safe place, head to your safe room. Again, right now does not include Pilot Grove. Pilot Grove up here to the north. We got New Lebanon here, Otterville down here to the south, and south of that box, Tipton here just south of that box too. In fact, you can see, again, Highway 50 where it's running right along the bottom of your screen. But here's Highway 5. Again, Highway 5 running out of the Boonville area, and it continues to head down towards Tipton. Tipton right now not included in this warning, but it is including a big chunk of rural Cooper County here, the southeast corner of Cooper County, in fact. Radar indicated. This also has the capability of producing some fairly large hail. And we're seeing a couple of those hail cores actually a little bit farther north than where the circulation is at. You can see one out here to the east of New Lebanon, one to the east of Clifton City, and a lot of heavy rainfall again. So this is going to be another one of those that will be if there is a tornado on the ground here, this is going to be a rain-wrapped tornado, and you are not going to have, you're not going to be able to see where it's coming. Hail potentially up to 3/4 of an inch. So again, this would be up to around nickel-sized hail out of this particular storm. A lot of heavy rainfall, and again, a lot of lightning has been ongoing with these storms here too. The bulk of the lightning and the bulk of these storms, again, here just to the north and east. This was the cell that we were looking at earlier that was just to the northeast of Sedalia. It has expanded. It's gained a lot more strength. You can see it stretches from at least the severe side of that thunderstorm from around Boonville back down to the southwest here near Otterville. But the circulation back here on the southern side of that cell. And once this moves through the Otterville and Bunsen areas, there is more on the back side of that. Those right now not severe, but they're moving into an area where severe storms are expected. This originally, what we're looking at, this thunderstorm warning was originally, again, two different cells that began to merge together. And when that happens, sometimes you can get the winds to do some funny things inside those cells. And that's what we've seen. In fact, you can see maybe another little spot of some gusty winds definitely up here, but maybe even potentially a start of another little area of circulation. So a couple different areas inside this thunderstorm through Cooper County, again, south of Pilot Grove, north of Otterville, north of Tipton. Again, you can see Highway 50 here at the bottom of your screen. Highway 5, Syracuse, located out here too. This storm, radar indicated, moving to the east at about 30 to 35 miles per hour. If you're in that part of Cooper County, you want to get to your safe place. You want to get to your shelter. You want to make sure you can get to the lowest floor of your home. And basement's the best place to be underground, the best place to be from any kinds of severe weather. If you don't have a basement, the lowest level of the building you're in is the best place to be. And get to the central, most interior room as possible, whether that's a closet, maybe that's a bathroom. The idea is to put as many walls between you and the outside as possible. Mobile homes not safe to be in, especially when we're looking at winds greater than 60 miles per hour. A lot of times the tethering that they have on those mobile homes not strong enough to withstand 60 mile per hour plus winds. Can cause them to roll over or continue to roll and can cause greater harm and injury to yourself. Again, the best place to be inside, getting that information from whether it's a weather radio, turning the volume up loud from your television as you're heading into your safe space. Once again, we are continuing to track and watch severe weather. Showers and thunderstorms still lining up across the area. This is mainly going to be for areas along Highway 50 here and to the north, but some areas to the south here tonight still could experience some of these severe thunderstorms. A lot of the area here under a severe thunderstorm watch until 11 o'clock tonight. A good chunk of mid-Missouri here under that severe thunderstorm watch. Again, you got the one tornado warning, one severe thunderstorm warning here at the moment. Turn that off, make it easier to see. And you can see it's mainly right here, right now for a couple of those folks in Cooper County. The farther north you go, we're still finding some extreme rainfall. And the rainfall rates tonight have been in that 1 to 2 inches per hour rate. That has led to some areas of flash flooding, especially up to the northwest of Moberly. There's been some of those showers and thunderstorms. The rotation again inside the thunderstorm that we're looking at here through Cooper County, it is still very evident. Again, just to the north of Otterville, in fact, a little bit more to the northeast of Otterville at this point, making a little bit more of that easterly turn, looking right now to stay just north of the city proper of Tipton, but you get much further north in the correctional facility, and you're going to be right in the path of this. So again, if you're out in Cooper County, you're going to take shelter. If you're out here close to Moniteau County, out in that area, you're also going to take shelter. Syracuse, you are right on the fringe of that right now. And I think if you're in Syracuse, at least if you're north of 50 on Syracuse, you probably ought to be in your safe shelter as well. The center of circulation still very evident, very tight along this section of Cooper County. Again, we're looking just west of Highway 5 right now. Again, it's a rural area, so a lot of times we don't get information because there may not be a lot of people living out here. Those that do live out there are in their safe space or in their safe shelter, and we're waiting for reports to come in. So sometimes no news is good news, but this one here is radar indicated compared to the one previously where that one was observed, the one a little further north up around Marshall. Now we are getting some reports out around the Clifton City area here, which is back to the west of your screen. As this storm moved through, it did produce 60 mile per hour wind gusts. So whether there's a tornado here or not, the winds are extremely fast in this area. 60 mile per hour winds is enough to do quite a bit of damage to a lot of things, especially if you've got your furniture outside, your yard furniture. If you've got a trampoline, that thing is going to be a sail. That'll be out of here. That'll be gone. So again, if you're out ahead of this, you want to get to your safe shelter. But if you are even further ahead of this, if you are east of Highway B there coming out of Tipton, you've got time to gather up those loose outdoor things and put them in a safe place before the winds really get there. Latest scan, you just saw an update here. Still very tight rotation with inside this polygon. This one holding together here fairly well. Currently, the tornado warning in effect until 8:30 tonight. That gives us about another 12 to maybe 13 minutes on this particular cell. This is right now, at the moment, the only area where we're even finding severe thunderstorms too. A lot of heavy rainfall within this particular cell. And this one back here, there's a brand new severe thunderstorm warning, and that is going to be for the cell that we're seeing on the back side of that. So this one is going to do double duty, if you will, Again, from Longwood, that one running east too. So again, severe thunderstorm warning right now for pretty much all of Cooper County, even southern Howard County. That does include Boonville. It's going to include New Franklin here too. You go a little farther south, it runs right along the Cooper and Moniteau, Morgan County line. So Moniteau, Morgan right now not under any kind of severe thunderstorm warning. It is all just north of here, but if you're in Tipton, that is awfully close. Be on the lookout for potential large hail through the Syracuse-Tipton areas. And again, so on the back side, that's a brand new severe thunderstorm warning. That severe thunderstorm warning, we're looking at that one in effect until 8:45 here tonight, capable of 1 inch hail, which is likely what we're seeing through a lot of spots there, right along Highway 65, just south of the Marshall Junction. And then winds, we've had winds reported in that 60-mile-per-hour range from a lot of these thunderstorms here tonight. So this is the area where it's considered dangerous at the moment. You can see some strong thunderstorms, too, still up to the west of Fayette. So if you're out around the Central Methodist campus, those storms getting ready to roll into your area as we speak. You can see it already. You're probably even getting a little bit, at least some light rain, and you've already had that cool gust front come through, getting ready to find some of those heavier showers roll through. The lightning, again, still very dangerous lightning with both of these cells. You go a little farther north where they've somewhat split and separated. So the focus, at least for our area, is going to be on these two clusters of thunderstorms. The main one right now with the tornado warning on it, out around, right now, again, that center circulation east of Otterville, and to the southwest of Bunsen, northwest of Tipton. Again, that's going to be out around the Highway 5 area here at the moment. And then we're looking at the potential for some larger hail back out to the northwest. So once this cell moves through, again, if you're here through Cooper County in that Bunsen area down to Otterville, just because this first round has moved out, right now you have a second one on the tail right behind it. That's going to bring a lot more heavy rain, some gusty winds, possibly even some hail, and could lead to a little bit of flash flooding in a few of those locations. So we're starting to get towards the edge of that's a new severe thunderstorm warning that just popped up. That one there is including the eastern part of Cooper County there. That's where the same storm that we were looking at, that one is now in effect until 8:45 tonight. Again, severe thunderstorm warning for what we're looking at here until 8:45. The tornado threat still there west of Highway 5. That's where we're finding the center of circulation, and it starts to peak out a little bit. Again, the green is winds blowing towards the radar. We'll back that up one frame. There we go. Again, green blowing towards the radar, red blowing away from the radar. And you get this counterclockwise spin, and inside that counterclockwise spin, it stays pretty tight like it has, and you end up getting a lower, and you end up getting a wall cloud out of that particular cell. And we are expanding that severe thunderstorm warning now. That's going to be to the south of that. So again, that is going to include Tipton, which for the tornado warned part of that storm, you are right on the cusp, but that is a new severe thunderstorm warning right now, which also looks like it might be including parts of Columbia, Boone County. Yeah, that's a big severe thunderstorm warning. So the idea, I'll give some more information for you on that one here in just a second. A lot of times when they issue a big warning like that, starting to pick up forward speed a little bit, and the winds are going to be the main threat. And so they want to issue that warning, give you plenty of lead time to get all those outdoor belongings tethered down, collected, brought in, gathered before the winds hit it and cause some more debris to fly. But this is the tornado warned storm here through parts of southeastern Cooper County right now. That center circulation approaching Highway 5 at the moment. Again, north of Syracuse, southwest of Bunston. It continues to move to the east here at about 30 to 35 miles per hour. That circulation is still fairly tight with what we're looking at here on the velocity scans. And at the moment, that tornado warning in effect until 8:30 tonight. Looking at overall at the, let's see, where we, there we go. Back that up. There we go. Here, switch over. So we're looking at a fairly large line. So mentioned as parts of Columbia. So it does include maybe the southern edge of Columbia, that new severe thunderstorm warning. Does not include the downtown area here. You can see where Stadium exit is at on the south side. So that's going to be awful close, though, out towards South Farm. It's going to be out towards Father Tolton. It's out towards the Pierpont, covers all that out towards the general store, even out towards St. Martin's area. So not Jeff City here at the moment, but you head out west towards the St. Martin's area, definitely hitting that. And of course, Jamestown out along 179, California, you're included with that. Again, that one in effect here until that one is the new one. That one is in effect until 9:15 tonight. So 9:15 for that leading edge south of Columbia, west of Jefferson City. It does include California, includes Jamestown, Bunston. You guys are under the severe thunderstorm warning there too, that one until 8:45, but with the tornado warning to your south, again, we are getting quite a bit of that circulation to continue to stay fairly tight and show up. So we'll zoom in here a little bit closer. And again, we're starting to get towards the edge of the Kansas City radar, so we start to lose a little bit of definition once we start getting towards the eastern part of Cooper County here, but it's still seeing a lot of fairly fast winds within the thunderstorm, at least through the mid-levels of this thunderstorm. The winds are really rotating, again, blowing towards the radar here on the top with green, blowing away from the radar with red. And again, you get this counterclockwise little spin. And if there is a tornado, which again, this one right now is still radar indicated, if there is a tornado that is located right along Highway 5 there, north of Syracuse. And again, you can see where Bunston is at. Has had a history of producing 60-mile-per-hour winds, so we know the winds are at least making it to the ground. We might not be seeing a funnel, we might not be seeing a tornado here, but we know the winds are absolutely reaching the ground with some of the reports that are coming in from this particular cell. Some of those wind reports were coming in from the Clifton City area, with just here at about the top of the hour as it was rolling through that region. Again, Clifton City just back off to the west side of your screen. As mentioned, this is a rural part of mid-Missouri, so we are not getting a lot of reports that are coming in. That at least doesn't necessarily mean it's not happening. Folks are potentially not in the vicinity where the circulation is at, or they're in their safe room, taking shelter, protecting themselves, and we'll get more information from them as they're able to come back out of their shelter. This storm has slowed down. The tornado warning storm here has slowed down. It is slowed down to about 20 miles per hour here at the moment. Has had forward speeds between 30 to 35. The latest scan has showed that it is now slowed down to east at about 20 miles per hour. So we're still dealing with a lot of severe thunderstorm warnings. Looks like one large severe thunderstorm warning. And again, there are two areas of storms right here. This one, you can see it's starting to bow out here just a little bit. The area of circulation of concern is still back to the southwest of Bunston. You can see a little bit of that bowing effect. And when thunderstorms start doing that bowing effect, we start getting a lot more winds rushing out ahead of it. It turns into a lot more of a heavy wind threat. And based on the look of that, that is what the National Weather Service is thinking too, as we're seeing the winds and areas being alerted out well ahead of that. The tornado warning has been extended over into another area here of Cooper County. I'll give you the latest on that. This is still radar indicated. We'll zoom in. The radar has shown that the circulation on this has been fairly consistent for really the last about 15 to 20 minutes. So we got the new tornado warning that is in effect here until 9 o'clock tonight. And we've got that circulation that is continuing to show a lot of tight rotation within the center of that. So again, Tipton right now, you are safe. This is going to be north of the Tipton area. But that center of circulation right now, right on top of Highway 5 and still slowly moving to the east. Storm motion on this storm here, still at that 20 to maybe 25 miles per hour. So again, rural part of Cooper County, starting to cross over Highway 5 right now. It's approaching Highway B. The correctional center north of Tipton right now, not in the path of that particular polygon, and at the current direction, storm motion that we have, Tipton, you're likely in the clear here, but you are right on the fringe. Tipton is located, you are located here inside of a severe thunderstorm warning. So keep that in mind, that just to the north, the worst part of a severe thunderstorm warning, the tornado there, but you could find a lot of those gusty winds. And we've had a lot of those gusty winds here tonight. In fact, numerous reports, 5 or 6 different reports of 50 to 60 mile per hour winds from these cells. Most recently, Clifton City, which is just back to the left side, just off your screen, had 60 mile per hour wind reports from this storm as it was starting to tighten up in circulation before we had the tornado warning issued. Again, the first tornado warning here, that it will be allowed to expire at 8:30. A new one has been issued now until 9 o'clock tonight. Again, that currently rotating, crossing over Highway 5 in south central Cooper County, that continues to drift to the east at about 20 to 25 miles per hour. Approaching Highway B, the circulation has now crossed over Highway 5, but it is approaching Highway B and should stay south of Bunsen. But Bunsen, you're likely seeing and experiencing some of those gusty winds, especially there if you're south of Bunsen. Again, with Highway B, you come out here through Route J. That's what you're looking at here. If you are out around we start getting over into Moniteau County here, you want to be on the lookout. Stay on the heads up for that, because if this continues its trajectory, if this continues along its path, Jamestown going to be awfully close to that. California at the moment should stay, if it stays on this same path. California, the city of California, should be okay, but we'll continue to watch how this progresses over the next 30 minutes, because right now, center circulation here just to the south of Bunsen, it is very tight, very easy to see where that rotation is happening within the velocity scans. Again, the velocity scans are the winds inside a thunderstorm. It allows us to see what direction the winds are moving. Green blowing towards the radar site, red blowing away from the radar site. And so we have broad area circulation overall, but inside of this, you have some really tight circulation. Again, the brighter the greens, the brighter the reds, the faster the winds inside that storm are going. We are absolutely looking at come back here. All of mid-Missouri here under this risk level 2 for tonight. So any storm that forms in our area here tonight is expected to become a strong thunderstorm. Some of them have the capability of becoming severe, and right now we are finding some of them on that severe side with the worst that it could be, which is that tornado-warned storm. What we were thinking, we'd find wind and hail reports and a lot more wind and hail damage, even some flooding here tonight. The tornado threat is low, but it is still absolutely present and impacting parts of our area here tonight. Again, mainly that being the Cooper County area. We're going to drop this down. Start to see a few more of those storms still stretching from Fayette. That rate that may start to overtake that other little cell. But these two right here, they're starting to fight for some of that energy. These two cells, and you can see where the center of those updrafts are essentially. This is where the strongest reflectivity is, where the precipitation is inside the cells. And that's usually where you're going to find the largest pieces of hail. And with a lot of these storms, the hail core is going to be right near where that tornado is at. And these storms here are going to start competing for some of the energy that's in the atmosphere here tonight. A couple another little area there just north of Boonville. You get out towards Fayette. Again, not a severe warned storm, but it has been probably a pretty noisy storm as it rolled through Fayette. Starting to get another round of that to roll through the Boonville area here too. There in north central Cooper County and Howard County there over in Franklin, or New Franklin and Fayette. Now, we have a severe thunderstorm warning beyond this tornado warning. Again, the tornado warning in effect here for south central and southeastern Cooper County until 9 o'clock tonight. But we do have a severe thunderstorm warning in effect until 9:15. Does include southern Boone County. It includes northern Moniteau County and northwestern Cole County. Includes the southern areas here in Columbia. Again, you can see where Stadium is at on the south side, but right now most of the metro and downtown areas of Columbia is going to be in the clear. This is going to be on the south side of that, so that would be out towards Father Tolton. That would be out towards South Farm and areas south of there. Includes Ashland. You get to Jefferson City. Right now, Jefferson City not under any kind of alert, but you get out towards St. Martin's and you head west. That's the eastern extent of where this watch box is at. Again, so if you're in these areas, gusty winds, 60-mile-per-hour winds have been reported. And the way these storms are rotating here tonight, some of the thunderstorms could produce a tornado. We've had a couple of them that have already happened here tonight, and we still have one ongoing through Cooper County. Again, there's not a lot. Again, no news is sometimes good news. And again, that's not a bad thing here necessarily, as we're seeing still looking at some tight rotation. So when you see me come back and forth, just so you know, like I've got multiple chat rooms open with different spotters that are across the area with our National Weather Service partners in the different sections of the state. And we're sharing a lot of information back and forth. So when you see me come back over and maybe look to collect my thoughts, I'm trying to scavenge and pick apart some of the information that we have from some of the spotters that are coming in and some of the information that's coming in. There's a lot of pictures. There's absolutely a wall cloud. Some of the pictures that are coming in, let's see, those were from Saline County, so those are not from the one in Cooper County. The Saline County storm, some of the pictures coming in from there are starting to show that we might have had some damage up in that area where that was the observed tornado. The storm that we're looking at here through Cooper County, again, we've talked about how Bunston's right on the edge of where that circulation is at. It doesn't appear Bunston is in any kind of damage. And right now, Tipton does not look like it's in any immediate threat of the tornado either. It is still very, very tight circulation. This circulation has held on for quite a while. In fact, we're going on about 45 minutes now that the circulation in this particular storm has held together. Again, that circulation now approaching Highway B. Again, you can see where Tipton's at, the correctional facility just to the north of there along Highway B, and that continues to stay just north of there. It's staying through Cooper County, not getting into Moniteau County at this point, at this moment, but still slowly moving to the east at about 20 to 25 miles per hour. Could be a lot of heavy rainfall with this. Could see a lot of maybe some small hail. I don't see any large hail out of this particular storm at the moment, but I think we could find a lot of pea-sized hail, maybe even some half-inch to nickel-sized hail, so dime, penny, nickel sized hail. And there could be a few quarter-sized hail pieces mixed in with this, but I think we would find potential for a lot of heavy rainfall here and some small to maybe moderate-sized hail, especially at around, that could fall up around the Bunston area. Don't think it'd make it up the speed, but definitely from around Bunston to south, just north of Tipton. And again, this continues to drift to the east, but a lot of precipitation within that particular cell, whether that is rain or hail. And again, on the back side of that, there's another one. This one looks like it's weakened a little bit. It still has one little area where we're finding a pretty strong updraft, so we could still find some small hail back within that, potentially up to the size of quarters. But this one right now, out ahead of it, looks to be taking a little bit more of the energy away from the storm in the cell on the back side. It's been a pretty active week of weather. If you've been keeping up with the weather, if you are in town visiting, not familiar with the area, or you've been in a pretty extreme drought for pretty much the duration of the summer thus far. And this week, many areas have gone from seeing 0 rain over the course of 2 or 3 months to picking up over 8 inches of rain within the last 24 to 48 hours. For some, it might be 72 hours, but it has been a pretty active week, and we're still getting just a couple small little areas of some rain, a lot of heavy rain here too. And based on the intensity, I'd be curious, because these have been moving pretty slow, if we might see some flash flood warnings coming out of those particular cells. Again, when we look at what they've done, again, coming back over the last 20, 30 minutes, possibly to see some flash flooding coming out of those particular cells. I think that is a real possibility to keep in mind, that maybe I've not touched much on here tonight because of the tornado threat that is out in that particular area south of Bunston. But these storms have been very efficient rainmakers. The humidity, you can feel it. If you've been outside at all today, you can really feel just how humid the air is, and that just tells you there's a lot of water. So storms that do form tonight, they're going to be efficient rainmakers, producing 1 to 2 inches of rainfall. Some here tonight have already done that. And the hail threat, we do have the hail threat. The hail threat potentially could reach the size of golf balls with some of the stronger storms, but with these here, I am not seeing any of that type of indication that that's what we're going to be seeing. New scan, you just saw it swipe through Cooper County there. That circulation is still very tight here through southern Cooper County. That circulation's crossed over Route B. And again, heading out towards Highway O, southeast Cooper County. And again, this is a rural area here. I know there's a few more homes in this area than possibly up what we'd see there between Bunston and Tipton. But this is an area where it's not a lot of folks that live out this way, and those that do, hopefully you're in your safe shelter, get into your safe place. Make sure you're taking shoes with you. If you come out, you want to make sure you've got something to protect your feet from any kind of damage, any debris, glass that might be out there. Again, you want to make sure you've got something on your feet. So whether you're taking shoes with you or you're putting them on, get to your safe shelter and ride this storm out. Getting in here, we'll zoom in a little bit closer, and you can see there's not much in the way of towns and communities. Pisgah's up this way. You can see where that's at in location to all of this, but that circulation there just now east of Highway B, still moving to the east at that 20 to maybe 25 mile per hour speed. So again, a very, very slow forward speed. For those that are out ahead of this, let's see, where is this one? All right, for those that are out ahead of this, going back into that severe thunderstorm warning, it's a pretty large severe thunderstorm warning. Thunderstorm warning essentially goes from just south of Boonville back into southwest Cooper County, extends out through eastern Cooper County. That one in effect here till about 8:45. I do think that's possible. That may get extended to about 9 o'clock just based on the speed that this has been moving. But you get out ahead of that, here's southern Boone County. We got Columbia, you've got Jamestown, California, Jefferson City here in the bottom sort of right-hand corner behind where I'm standing. Does not include Jefferson City at the moment. It goes out to about St. Martin's and goes west. Includes Ashland, includes Hartsburg, includes parts of Columbia. You get into the southern edge, it's going to be out towards Father Tolton and South Farm on the south end of Columbia. If you're downtown, if you're on the Mizzou campus at this point, severe thunderstorm warning not in effect for your area. The bulk of that energy staying right now to your south and west, with the majority of that energy concentrated here. So there's the new new tornado warning. You can see that is now going to include Moniteau County. So this is going to include California. If you're in California, you're going to want to seek shelter, get into your safe place. This is now going to include California. That one in California, this one here now in effect, switching over, new chat room. That one is in effect until 9:30. Again, that is Moniteau County in effect until 9:30. Currently still moving to the east at about that 20 to 25 miles per hour. The circulation for that cell still back up to your northwest, though. You can see where Clarksburg at. It's north of Clarksburg. Right now, Clarksburg is now included in the path. So this storm has gone from moving more so due east to maybe a little bit more east-southeast. So it is including areas here in western Moniteau County, central Moniteau County. Does include Clarksburg. In fact, this area now is going to include possibly out just north of Tipton, sort of there, that area on Highway B. You get out to H Highway north of Clarksburg. You're out there running through Clarksburg down to Highway 50. This runs right along Highway 50 through California. So if you're out in this area, again, this is in effect until 9:30. Again, this is a tornado warning until 9:30. Still radar indicated. We are not getting, we're not getting confirmation of a tornado. Of course, this time we're starting to get, the sun is becoming an issue. We're starting to see a little bit of a problem with some daylight. Centertown right now not included. Again, stops just to your west. It stops there at the Moniteau County line. But if this continues on its path and stays in its strength and intensity, that would cross over Moniteau County, that would enter into Cole County and southern Boone County. And you can see where Hartsburg at, St. Martin's, you guys are all right there. Again, so keep that in mind. If you're in southern Boone, if you're in northwestern Cole, keep an eye on what's coming to your west. We do have severe storms that are moving from that direction. Tornado warning right now in effect for central Moniteau County. That does include California. Circulation still back up to your northwest there, just to the north of Clarksburg. It starts to become a little bit more populated through this area. Not much, but we're starting to see a little bit more of a tighter area. It's not a wide area where these warnings are being issued. Still a fairly narrow zone where that center of circulation is happening. And so if you're in, again, if you're in Cooper County, southeast Cooper County, if you're in Moniteau County there, if you're from Clarksburg to California, Jamestown, you're outside of it, but it goes just south of you. Keep that in mind. This area is poised to get that circulation from that thunderstorm to move east. Has had a history, regardless if there's a tornado here or not, this has had a history of producing 60-mile-per-hour winds. So if you're out ahead of this, especially if you're east of 87, you could probably tie up a couple things here real quick before you get into your shelter. But you're going to start to feel the effects and some of the gusty winds that are associated with that developing over the next 15 to even 20 minutes. But the center of circulation, again, it's right along Highway H there, just to the north of Clarksburg. Again, that is taking more of an easterly to maybe slight easterly, southeasterly approach. Still moving fairly slow, 20 to 25 miles per hour. And it is has had a history of producing some strong winds. Still a lot of lightning within that cell. Still see where the center of that updraft and that hail core or that precipitation core is. Stretching Prairie Home, a lot of lightning out around your area. That stretches back down to around the Clarksburg area. The cell on the back side of that, no longer looking to be a threat. A lot of the energy being robbed and sucked up by the storm out ahead of it. But still a lot of heavy rainfall back behind that. Same thing with what we're seeing there north of I-70 and south and east of Fayette, out around the Armstrong area there again, south of Highway 124. Some of that's going to start impacting northern and central Boone County. You see Hallsville there, Harrisburg right out that direction too. You're going to see some of that heavy rain rolling in here fairly soon. The severe threat not up for areas north of I-70 for Boone County. You got to go south of Columbia into Cole County where that severe thunderstorm warning is at, and it is for this storm right here. 60-mile-per-hour winds, hail up to the size of 1 inch, and the tornado possible within that cell. And that rotation is still staying fairly tight. It's not doing much, but it is moving. Yeah, still almost due east, maybe just a little bit south of east. But yeah, here it is. That's the circulation that we're looking at here. It is approaching O Highway there. Let's see, and that's double A. So double A, that runs north out of Clarksburg. You got H, you got O. Radar indicated here at the moment, moving east at about 20 to 25 miles per hour. Pettis County, right now, you're in the clear. No active warnings going on for you, severe thunderstorm-wise either. But we are keeping a really close eye here, still on Cooper County, getting ready to move out of Cooper County over into Moniteau County. And the winds still very strong in this thunderstorm. The winds are still extremely strong. That circulation, where we're looking at winds blowing towards the radar and winds blowing away from the radar, this area of circulation still very strong in Cooper County. And because of that, and it hasn't shown any signs of weakening here over the last 30 to 45 minutes, that tornado warning has been extended out into Moniteau County. Again, does not include Jamestown, but if you're south into Jamestown, you're going to want to keep an eye on the direction this storm is taking. Right along Highway 87, California, it does include you. If you're in California, you're going to want to make sure you're keeping an eye to the sky and getting into your safe room. You want to get back into your shelter. Don't forget to take your shoes with you to your shelter, especially here on if you got little ones. Make sure you're taking some shoes, especially for the little ones, down into the cellar, into your basement, into your storm room. You want to make sure that they're got something to protect their feet. If you come out and there is damage and there's debris, you want to make sure you've got something to protect your feet. Let's see if we can zoom in just a little bit closer. And yeah, it's right along Highway H. It is, you can see where Pisgah's at there. It is just south of Pisgah. You're probably getting some of the gusty winds right now. Pisgah not inside the active tornado warning, but you are very close to that circulation. Again, out here on O Highway, you got H continuing there through eastern Cooper County, and very possible that we're starting to see a little bit more broad rotation. Zooming out here just a little bit more, looks like possibly some of that rotation is a little bit wider when we look at what that thunderstorm is doing. We're also a little bit farther away from the radar site. At some point, we're going to switch over to a different radar site once this crosses out of Cooper County and starts getting more into Moniteau County. And so we're at a point now where we're starting to be a little bit farther away, and so it's seeing, at least in this location, it's seeing a little bit higher up inside that thunderstorm compared to closer to the radar. You're actually seeing closer to the ground. So we're fairly high up right here, and we're getting to see a lot of the rotation within that thunderstorm. And some of that circulation has made it to the ground, or not to the ground, but it has made it to the lower side, the lowering of the cloud base. Has not made it to the ground. This is still radar indicated. I want to make sure I clear that up. Again, this is radar indicated. So the circulation through the clouds has made it to the cloud base, but has not made any type of circulation connection with the ground. A lot of heavy rainfall. If you're out there and the storms have cleared your area and you can share some photos, we would love to see any of the photos that you might have had from earlier today. You can head to our website, krcgtv.com/chime in to upload yours. You can do it right there from your phone. You don't need a computer to do it. You can do it all right there from your phone. Again, if you want to email them, you can email them to me. That's great, too. We'll take that. That's zpaul@krcg.com. And, of course, we're all over social media and Twitter. You can find us at KRCG13. Now, the severe threats, I'm going to back this out. We're going to do a large kind of overview of what is going on here. We've got the tornado warning there. You can see it's in effect until 9:30. The one back off to the west. The circulation right now is essentially in this gap between the two tornado warnings, and so it's going to continue to move forward. Severe thunderstorm warning here until goes until, I believe I said 9:15. That might be a little bit too early. That might be 9:30. It is 9:15. Still 9:15 for this severe thunderstorm warning. So based on the speed of how this is moving, I think it's very possible that we see this severe thunderstorm warning extended. But right now, the tornado and the circulation inside that is the main threat and the main concern. It's a slow-moving storm here at the moment, moving only at about 20 to 25 miles per hour. Counties you see outside of this highlighted in pink. This is a severe thunderstorm watch. That's in effect tonight until 11 o'clock tonight. Areas around the lake, I believe, for Benton, Camden counties, I believe that is until 10 o'clock tonight. For everybody else, that's until 11 o'clock tonight. But we are seeing a couple thunderstorms here that are still capable of heavy rainfall, hail, and rotation, the rotation is what has prompted the severe thunderstorm warning. Starting to become a little more compact with the area of rain. The intensity, not quite as much for those two little lobs on the backside. Still quite a bit here for western Boone County, northern Moniteau County, in there through Cooper County. That's a lot of rainfall that's going to move through that area. Zoom in here a little bit closer, and you can see just exactly where that's at, and we'll do some of the hail detection. And that's kind of the area that we're looking at, where you'd expect to find the largest hail is not far from where the updraft is at to suspend it. What we're looking at here with hail detection is the vertical integrated liquid, which shows us essentially just how strong is the updraft. Is it strong enough to support hail? If so, how strong or how large a hail would that be? And you can see it's fairly on the large side there. It's on the, I'd say, the smaller scale of large. And large in a thunderstorm, by any means, is anything 1 inch or larger. So it starts to peak out once you get above 1 inch out this way. So this here, we're still looking at, as mentioned before, maybe penny to nickel-sized hail. There could be a few 1 inch stones mixed in with that, but that is the bulk part of the energy. That's where the strongest part of that storm is located here at the moment, and that coincides pretty well with where we're seeing the rotation of that thunderstorm. Again, crossing over O Highway in southeast Cooper County, getting ready to move over into Moniteau County. And again, that looks like the current trajectory may stay just north of California, but California, you're inside that polygon. These polygons are drawn that way for a reason, because storms do have a tendency to shift a little bit north and south or east and west, depending on the direction that they're moving. And again, that is inside the cone that really could put you at risk. So if you're in California, you're going to want to make sure that you're getting into your safe room. Take shelter. Your tornado warning there, in fact, until 9:30 tonight. And the circulation, as mentioned, it's just back here to the west, crossing over O Highway. You can see where H and O intersect there. O continues to roll on south there towards California. You also have Highway D that runs south to out towards California. And again, 87 that runs from Jamestown down to California. Jamestown, you can see, that's not located inside that severe thunderstorm, the tornado warning. But the circulation just off to your southwest, and looks like it might be shifting a little bit more to the north. Still, some very tight circulation within this. The winds, again, the brighter the reds, the brighter the greens, the stronger the winds. We're seeing a lot of that now out through that part of the county, southeast Cooper County. Radar indicated, still not getting much in the way of reports coming in. That's not necessarily a bad thing. Again, not necessarily a bad thing. That means folks are either don't live there, so we're not having to worry about any life that's being injured, some property potentially being injured, or they're down in their storm cellars and their shelters, seeking shelter from the storm, and we'll get some more information on that as it passes through. The storm we're looking at, though, the tornado-warned storm, has had a history of producing 60 miles per hour winds. Started out in Clifton City there, western Cooper County. Started about an hour ago with that first report of damaging winds coming in, and shortly after the winds started picking up, the thunderstorm winds, the rotation inside that thunderstorm really tightened up too. and prompted the tornado warning, and it is still going on here an hour after it was really first issued. So that circulation continuing to stay on the strong side, moving over into Moniteau County. So again, Moniteau areas in California likely getting those storm sirens. You're probably hearing a lot of the storm sirens going off. Again, if you've got some of the weather call, we've had a few folks send messages saying that they've got their weather calls, which is fantastic. That's what we want. We want to make sure that you're getting multiple ways of receiving storm information. If you have to get into your storm cellar and you have to step away from your TV and you don't have a weather radio, if you got a cell phone, take your cell phone. Make sure you've got one of the weather apps on your phone that you can keep up to date with. I know with our KRCG TV app that you are able to watch live coverage. So you will be able to watch live coverage of us in your storm cellar if you've got coverage and cell phone reception inside